All right, here's the last thing before break. Please find a blank piece of paper. Please turn to a blank piece of paper. Folks, this is it. This is big finish before the break. This is a big finish. If you would draw a circle in the upper left-hand corner, draw a circle big enough to write one word. Then I'm going to have you fill in a couple of things. If you would then put a little line, like an elongated Q, just a line, make an elongated Q line. My little girl's name is Quinn, so I love this example. Quinn Katie Flanagan. She's Irish. Mr. Prospect, thanks for meeting with me. Here's a sales call. Thanks for meeting with me today. As I said over the phone, what I'd like to do is find out a little bit about you, your organization, some of the goals that you've established, then some of the obstacles that may stand in the way of those goals. That'll take about 15 minutes. Is that still a good time frame for you, Mr. Prospect? Yes. Well, Mr. Prospect, the reason, please write this in, the reason I want to find out about your goals, the purpose of my finding out about your goals, is that, Mr. Prospect, I can't reach goals for you. I can help you, but I can't reach them for you. But what separates my company from any other company in this market is that once we find out your goals, we work diligently, now please write this in, to put you in the best vehicle for you to reach your goals. Mr. Prospect, if I can find the best vehicle to reach your goals, I expect to earn your business. Is that fair? Now, folks, they may not like you. They want to be fair with you. Guys, this is selling. This is how our free economic system was built. This is free enterprise. And I say that because if brand X, your competitor, comes along and finds your customers' goals faster, better, quicker than you do, brand X wins and you don't. That's a competitive nature of what we do in the sales profession. And I like the competitive, it's a challenge. I like the competitive nature of what I do. Folks, if I can find your goals and put you in a vehicle to reach those goals, I'm a hero to you. If you can find my goals, put me in a vehicle to reach my goals, you're a hero to me. I'll tell people about you. I'll spend a little bit more money on you. How much? I don't know. Depends on what you're selling. But this is what we do for a living. If you understood this every time you went into a customer interaction, if you understood this, you're going to separate yourself from the competition. Mr. Prospect, it ain't about me. Mr. Prospect, what I want to do, and I write this on a board, I'll put it on a piece of paper. If I'm on the phone, if I have rapport enough, and I say, would you mind let's do a little exercise with me. Would you take out a blank piece of paper, would you put a circle, put goals in it, put a little line like a Q, and put vehicle. Mr. Prospect, what I want to do today is find out your goals so that when I come back with a proposal, I can put you in the best vehicle to reach your goal. Is that fair? Guys, I do this all the time. And the reason I do, I've got to get out of me into thee. This helps me do that. My sales reps at the Ziglar Corporation have a page stapled together with several of these. I've got goals, and I got a vehicle, and over here I've got 3 questions to ask. And when we make a sales call, we sit down and we make sure that's in front of us as we're taking notes, because I'm a note taker. Mr. Prospect, I'm sorry, the silence simply means I'm taking notes. Don't be afraid to use this. Does it work? Only if you do. I hate name droppers. I hate name droppers. I was telling Al Pacino last week, I hate name droppers. There's a name in Dallas that's a pretty big name drop. I'm about to drop it on a guy named Roger Staubach. Roger Staubach played in the NFL, didn't make a lot of money. He knew that, so in the off seasons, he was in commercial real estate. He built the Staubach Company to 55 offices worldwide and sold it 6 years ago for $684 million. I could have used that this weekend. Before he sold it, we were trying to get into work with his commercial real estate company. So I knew a guy named Scott Collier that worked with me at IBM. He'd gone to work for the Staubach Company. He called me and we did a lunch and learn with 6 of their brokers. I put this on the board. They liked a couple other things, so we came back and did some work with them. I put it back on the board in the formal training. When I got to this, Scott got up out of the audience and went to his office. We were training at the Staubach Company's office. And he came back with a piece of paper and said, Flanagan, I tried that. I hope it worked. I said, okay, Scott, tell us. We were working with a competitive situation. Somebody had a relationship with a competitive broker. I put this on the board, on the page, and he said, what I said was, what's on your plate right now? And if we could put you in a vehicle to take it off your plate, would you give us a project or two? The guy said, yeah. That wasn't the only thing that got him the job, understand that. But it was physical, and Scott still had it in the guy's jacket, his file. 2007, I go to Indianapolis, and I'm working with Dow Chemical Agri-Science Division, $4.2 billion of Dow Chemical. We do the training up in Indianapolis. A week later, this guy, senior sales specialist in Florida, writes this to me. And here's what he said. Flanagan, I tried this. Is when I cringe when I tried this. I tried this. Greg is his customer. He said, I opened the call by asking Greg the question, what are your short-term goals and how can we work together to achieve them? Now, on the first row, you can see I underscored these words. I asked Greg, what are your short-term goals? How can we work together to achieve them? After Greg finished laughing at me, the customer laughed at him. Parentheses. Remember, I've called on Greg off and on for more than 15 years. This is what the senior sales specialist was saying. Been calling the guy for 15 years. I finally asked him his goals, and when I did, he laughed at me. I assured Greg I was serious. We had a great discussion. Greg even called in his COO, his CFO, and his marketing director. Folks, one of your greatest tools as a sales professional is curiosity. This guy wasn't curious for 15 years. When he was, the customer was surprised. He laughed at it. Be aware that you're not asking the right questions. You have never questioned your way out of a sale. I've talked my way out of sales, but we've never questioned or listened our way out of a sale. Guys, selling is asking and listening. Asking and listening, that's all it is. In its simplest form, it's a communication process. In its simplest form, it's no more complicated than that. They asked Willie Mays how to play baseball. They said, it's easy. They throw it, I hit it. They hit it, I catch it. Simple. Arnold Palmer's dad taught him to play the game of golf. Son, hit the ball hard, go find it, hit it again. But we complicate that. Selling is nothing more than a communication process. My wife says I'm not a very good communicator because I don't listen very well. I think that's what she said. But guys, we have to understand that when we're communicating, there's a process that helps us do that. We come back from the break, we'll talk about